the great Ivan Calderon, and we're talking about Jonathan Bomba Gonzalez. He's hoping to be great. He's on his way. And this Saturday night, he's going against the guy who you know very well, Giovanni Segura, the man who took your O away. Tell me, what do you expect to see Saturday night from a young guy, 13-0, like Jonathan Gonzalez, going against his first big-time test, and a guy that you know well? What do you expect to see on Saturday night?
Well, I expect, like I spoke a lot of time with Jonathan Gonzalez, I expect him to do an intelligent boxing move. Like, he only got something more than me, that he could go up the same way of Giovanni Segura, because he's a 112. He could go up to 120, 122 the day of the fight, and he's a southpaw, and he moves good, and he got more power than me.
Yeah. What do you think's going to happen Saturday night? You think Jonathan's ready for this kind of test?
I think it's going to be a hard fight. I can't tell you that he's prepared, because I still haven't seen him with a tough fighter yet. This is going to be his first fight with a good boxer that comes straight to him, put power and put pressure. So Saturday is going to be the first time we see Jonathan Gonzalez with a big opponent.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too. He went 8 rounds one time. Do you think it just seems like he might be getting the same kind of treatment that Orlando Daval and Thomas Delorme and a few other young up-and-coming Puerto Ricans have been getting lately. I mean, it seems to me like they're getting rushed into something that they're not quite ready for yet. What do you think about that?
I believe so. But sometimes it's not the promoter, the manager's problem. It's sometimes the boxers that put a lot of pressure, that they already think they're ready for the big fight, so they put a little bit of pressure up the manager. They need that fight, they're already ready. So the manager, he just do his job. If you think you're ready, so let's do it.
Yeah, so you think it's just some kind of machismo going on?
Yeah, something that he's trying to prove or trying to do real fast, that he think he don't got time to wait. I believe he still could have waited a little while, but if you think he's ready, we just gonna see that Saturday.
Yeah, what did you tell Jonathan about this guy he's fighting? Did you tell him that did you give him any like what he should do? Did you tell him watch out for this guy in that way and watch out for his body shots? He's real strong. What did you tell him, man?
Yeah, I told him, when I spoke to him, I saw him the next day in the news that he was saying, not in the news, the papers, that he was saying that I was trying to pull Skater, and I just was giving him just advice that he just gotta do round by round, and don't get crazy trying to knock him out in the first round, because he's a good fighter that he could hold, and he's been in the ring with big punches and goes all the way to all the rounds. So I tell him to don't get crazy and go round and round and play around with the 3 minutes. 1 minute and a half with power, and then 1 minute and a half just giving just punches and trying to lose the round.
Yeah, and another thing, I'm like thinking the kind of rivalry that Mexico and Puerto Rico are involved in. It's like nobody wants to lose that fight. That's a rivalry. So it adds a little extra to how bad this guy's going to come wanting it. He came to Puerto Rico and he fought you the first time. You guys had 2 fights the first time he came to Puerto Rico, and he took your O there, and then you went and fought him on his territory in Mexico. And unfortunately, it was the same result. But the guy's not afraid to travel, and it's gonna be a fight that he's not gonna want to lose. So I just wonder, like, is Jonathan Gonzalez ready? And I think you're not sure either. What do you think, Jay? You got any questions for Ivan?
Well, I mean, my question to Ivan is, seeing Segura in his last fight, the way he was exposed by his last opponent, Do you believe Jonathan can capitalize on the holes that were exposed in Segura's defense?
And I believe you saw the last fight too, it got Sosa, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, when I saw that fight and I saw Bomba's last fight, that's when I had the decision that it was going to be a hard fight for Jonathan Gonzalez, because he went straight to 12 rounds from the first round to the last round. He got hit in the first round. He got hurt, and he came back on in the end of the round, and he kept on putting pressure. And he finished the 12 round throwing all the way. And I spoke to him in the gym yesterday, and he told me he was not in his best condition in that fight. But in this fight, he's in his best condition. That's why I'm thinking that it's gonna be a hard fight for Jonathan Bomba.
Sounds to me like you're actually picking Segura. You think Segura is going to take this fight, don't you, Ivan?
I don't. I'm not really thinking that. Just saying that it's gonna be a hard fight. If Jonathan don't do his job, or don't do his job in the first 4 rounds at least, and Segura gets all the hard punches that he threw, then he's gonna be in a hard fight.
Yeah, and you don't know the mindset of a 22-year-old kid. I mean, they are kids, at 22. So I don't know if Jonathan knows what he's getting involved in here. What do you have to say about the whole Mexican-Puerto Rican rivalry? What's it mean to you?
It's something very important to us Puerto Rican and to them Mexican. We got a war that from a long years ago that Puerto Rico was better than the Mexicans, but the Mexicans have kept on learning how to box, how to defend themselves, so now they're getting the lead, winning us.
Yeah, I know you're keeping count.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite Mexican?
I think it might have started with Tito Escobar.
Say it again. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Jay.
The rivalry with Mexicans started back in the 1920s with Tito Escobar.
Yeah. Oh man, there's been countless
100 years.
Yeah.
I was not even born.
Your grandfather wasn't born.
Yep.
Now it wasn't that long ago, Ivan, that you were the kid coming up and you were the next big thing. What do you remember in your going into that first big fight? The first fight of yours, you were already champion at the time you fought Nene Sanchez, but at the time that was the first serious fight you were involved in, and it was right there in Puerto Rico too. How were you feeling that night? And it might let us know how Jonathan is going to be feeling going into his first big fight as a young guy in his homeland. What was that like that night? You remember back against?
Yeah. It was, for me, it was something real emotionally, and I was so glad it was already that fight of me and with Nene Sanchez, because I know what I could do that night, because I used to spar with him. But I knew if I would have get a good punch of him, he would have knocked me out all night. But I prepared myself just to have quickness on my legs and quickness on my arms, and just try to don't get hit all around.
Yeah. And when you're talking to Jonathan, did you tell him any of those stories? Did you tell him?
I told him everything. I gave him all my experience when I was scared, when I fought a hard fight. I gave him when I had the confidence, when I fought somebody that I knew I could have beat him. I gave all that to him, and I told him everything. It's just to him to do what he knows what to do the day of the fight.
And how big is the crowd? You're in Puerto Rico. You got those people, your people there rooting you on. What's that like? Does that add anything to it, or are you just so focused?
It did. It did at me with Hugo Cáceres when he dropped me in the 8th round. I heard the people, like, ooh, I just got dropped. So I stand up and I gotta do this for my people of Puerto Rico. I trained hard for this, and it gave me another air to keep on the fight. And
you were in Puerto Rico and you lost to Segura the first time. how much did it bother you to lose to a Mexican guy in Puerto Rico? Did that add anything to it too?
Yeah, it bothers a little bit, especially when he beat me in my own house.
Yeah.
You know, but I knew this is part of the job. You win and you lose. You just gotta keep on going and try to give another victory to Puerto Rico. If it ain't happens, just go back down and think what you should do, and that's what I did. I thought, and I went back down to 105.
Yeah, and you've been great. You were a great amateur. You're one of the greatest professional fighters ever to come out of the island. What when you think back to your first loss and that first fight with Segura, does it stay on your mind like that even 3 years later? Do you still kind of want to get back at this guy?
Nah, for real, nah. He beat me good. He did a good job. And, you know, I never think, like, I want to go up to 112 and I want to... No. You know, he did a good job. He beat me. He was the best man that night. I'm not even thinking about Segura.
Mm-hmm. You don't even want to see him in your dreams.
So what's happening? What's happening now for Ivan? What is Ivan doing right now regarding boxing?
Right now, I'm just training kids, you know, giving my advice to all of them, and what I did in my career, what I should do, what they should do, you know, if they want to beat somebody, and give them my example, what I did.
Okay.
And Jay, you're a trainer.
He's got a brand new gym.
Yep. Talk about it, Ivan. Tell us about the gym.
He even has to paint a big mural of him on the wall and make it.
You should. You should have a mural.
I got the big. Right now, I got the biggest gym in Puerto Rico. It's 4 floors with with rooms, kitchen, office, and all what you need in the gyms and weights. I got the biggest gym right now in Puerto Rico.
Jeez.
Yeah, brag.
So. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is one of the nice gyms. I'm really glad that he's working the neighborhood where he's at right now, and we actually coach in the same region.
Yeah. And
yeah.
You've seen Ivan up close as a trainer. What kind of trainer is he, Jay?
You know what? He seems very patient with the kids in the corner, and especially with the younger kids. You know, he takes his time talking to them, and for somebody who right now actually he's on his own on his gym over here, and he works with Pagan Pintor. But before that, he was the assistant for Cheche, who was his trainer, as a matter of fact. So it's not like he's knew about it. He's been working as an assistant coach for a long time. It's just that right now, you know, he's carrying his own, and I think he's doing a good job. He's got a lot of people.
Yeah, and Puerto Rico's a hotbed. I mean, for such a small island. I mean, it produces so many world champions.
Everybody knew that Ivan was going to open up a gym. It's like, you know, everybody just flocked right over.
He opened up a mansion gym.
Oh yeah.
So Ivan,
who
who should we know about, and who are you impressed with? Who do you think's the next big fighter coming out of Puerto Rico? Little or big? Who's the next big thing?
Who you asking, me or Jay?
You.
Right now, for real, and I think it's Pedraza.
Yeah, Pedraza.
And
he looked impressive in his last fight.
Oh man.
And Verdeo, but Verdeo is still a young kid and he's still learning day by day, fight by fight. But Pedraza, I think, got more experience, but Verdeo got more professional boxing than Pedraza.
Yeah.
No, I like, but he's still in development also. John Carcosa. Yeah, I mean, the guy, incredible speed. He knows how to set you up. He's got great defense, got good power. But it needs to be developed a little bit more, like the devil.
Yeah.
And what do you notice when you're Ivan, when you're talking to little
this
kids?
past weekend, this kid fought Eggy Lavoy. I was actually impressed by him. Did you see that fight, Ivan?
Nah.
You haven't seen him? Oh, he's from Bomba. The guy, he could bang. He could bang.
So he's impressing you, Jay. You sound impressed.
Yeah. That kid, he reminded me of a young Chapo Rosario. The way he was kind of like, maybe I'm overdoing it, but I don't know, the style, the way he was moving in and attacking the head, attacking the body, and attacking the body very, very, very well. For somebody who only had 6 fights, he seems 6-8 fights I think he had. He seemed very mature about what he was doing, and he came out a lot stronger.
Yeah. And Ivan, what do you see when you're training these young kids that must have looked up to you? Do you see how they kind of hold you in high regard? Do you feel like you're kind of passing the torch to these young kids now?
Yeah. It's hard right now to try to get a Puerto Rican fighter to stay in the gym, try to stay in the gym, try to do the things that we want them to do correctly. But I know if we just put a little bit more love to them and get them more attention, I know we could have a lot of boxers that will come out of Puerto Rico, like Ivan Calderon, Tito Trinidad. We just gotta give them more attention, more competition, and more fights.
Yeah. And are you going to be there Saturday night rooting Jonathan on?
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be there talking and TV. I'm gonna be there working.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, I might be there too if it all works out.
Yeah. And do you still get in the ring and spar a lot, Ivan? Are you still considering maybe making a comeback one day? And I know you got a family.
Yesterday I was sparring with one of my kids, the 165. I was sparring on 3 rounds.
Jeez. Did you take him to school?
I counted 18 overhands up to him, and I say, look at this old guy got you with 18 overhands.
Yeah, it's great to have Ivan, working in our region, and what he brings to the table, his experience, and the fact that he's got a lot of kids with him now, and it's awesome. It's just a matter of fact, he was just approached by an organization that that they want to help. They want to help other gyms, and they want to involve Ivan, and that was just awesome. We spoke about it, and I just hope that it all works out, and that they're able to help out the gyms in the communities that are in need, that really need this type of assistance, and they need the example and the leadership of Ivan, to help that community get started.
Yeah, and Ivan, your good friend Miguel Cotto's still going strong. He's still trying to have one last hurrah before he turns his attention probably to full-time promoting. What do you think of his fight coming up? He's got a big fight coming up. What do you think about it?
I really I can't talk about a lot about that fight because I haven't seen his opponent fight. But I know when Miguel Cotto start training, he do a good job, and he always train to win. But when things happen, it happens. But I can't say nothing about that fight because I haven't seen his opponent fight.
What do you think of his move to train with Freddie Roach?
And it's just big decision when we already did what we did in our career, so we just start playing around, try to get like a new energy with a new trainer. It's something different, you just change, and you feel like a little kid training with a little toy. So we train with a new trainer, and doing things different that will give you like a little bit more energy and more desire to fight again.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I was kind of surprised seeing the pictures of him standing next to Delvin Rodriguez, and Delvin looked way taller than him. I was kind of surprised by that. Do you think he's going to have any problem with Delvin at all? Or you never saw Delvin, right? So you really can't.
Nah.
Never saw Delvin fight. So how much do you think Miguel got left? And do you keep in touch with him? Does he let you know how he likes training with Freddie?
When we see each other, we don't even talk about boxing. How you doing? How your family and everything, but we didn't even talk what happened to you in your last fight, what you're gonna do. We don't even talk about boxing.
Yeah. It was funny seeing him shake hands with Manny Pacquiao too. Both training at the Wild Card.
Yeah, it was an interesting picture with Freddie Roach.
Yeah.
But this is part of the job because it's the same thing me shaking hands with Segura.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. You were there today with him.
Yo, I just gotta say we professional in our job. You fight the day of the fight. After the fight, you back. That's your friend.
Yeah. So one last question about Miguel. Do you think that training with Freddie Roach is gonna do anything different to the style of Miguel? Do you think he could change anything, or do you think he even wants to change anything, or do you think he just wants to fine tune some things with Freddie?
Yeah, I really don't know. You know, Miguel. What else you could do to Miguel? You change him to a boxer. You change him to a puncher. What else you need? Maybe to be a runner.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to show him. He knows what to do.
Yeah. The great Ivan Calderon, one of the greatest fighters who ever came out of Puerto Rico. I know he's going to be one of the great trainers who ever came out of there too. You're going to be there Saturday night rooting your fellow countrymen on. Bottom line, what's your final prediction? Bomba Gonzalez and Giovanni Segura.
I think Bomba should win by decision. If it's a knockout, you gotta beat Giovanni Segura.
That makes me can't wait to see it. They're in Puerto Rico. They're calling, because Segura means sure and Bomba means bomb. They're saying this fight's going to be a sure bomb. You see any way that this fight isn't going to be an explosive fight?
You know, sometimes the nicknames don't mean nothing because my nickname is Iron Boy. And Segura got me out. So the nicknames don't gotta say. Look at Eric Morales, Eric Morel. Little hard hands.
Yeah, little hands of steel.
Hands of steel.
It's going to be a good fight, nonetheless.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good fight. And it's going to be better because you're going to be there blessing the crowd.
You're going to be at the House of One Hotel, right?
Yep, the lobby.
You can't miss it. Jonathan Bomba Gonzalez going for it against Giovanni Segura from El San Juan Resort and Casino in Isla Verde, Puerto Rico. It's going to be good. Thank you guys. I appreciate you joining us, Ivan, and God bless, my man.
And remember, whoever can go, that could see it through DirecTV.
That's it. And I would ask you, how do fans keep in touch with you, but you're not on Facebook and you're not on Twitter? You don't do that stuff.
By you.
His website.
All right, Ivan. Appreciate your time, my man.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too.
Thank you, Ivan.